To get started, did you guys get the email I sent out on this on Monday? The 12-week year? A show of hands, who has started filling it out? Okay, any questions on that so far? Because I'm gonna do a highline overview of what it is. This is going to be a document that starts our entire quarter-long accountability, right? This is where we're gonna plug in your businesses and have a accountable research to everything you're doing in the next 12 weeks. So I'm glad that Eureka's jumping on. So, hey, Eureka.
Hey.
So you're going to be in here for Jorge too?
Yeah,
cool.
I think so.
Did you do the file I sent out?
I was looking at it this morning, but I haven't started it.
Okay, that's why we're here. So good that you're here. I don't know if anyone else is going to jump in. I just know your agents show up between 3 and 5 minutes late for things. So we always give some grace. If this was the military, we'd be doing push-ups right now, people. Who's doing open houses this weekend?
Me.
Okay, where are you doing yours? I know. Are you doing the one with Jorge?
It's yours.
Okay. You guys have the purple set still?
The green.
The green set? Okay.
Yeah.
You have the green set. Speaking of green set, she's copying us in the program and making her own green. How's that coming along?
Good. We're going to start coating them tonight.
So you're powder coating it. How are you going to get the letters?
So I have a Cricut and I do my own decals.
Okay, sweet. That'll be awesome.
I bet that's saving a lot of money.
What was that?
I bet you're saving a lot of money with that.
So I found somebody on the marketplace. They had the bottoms of them and the signs, and he wanted $40. So I was like, can't beat it.
That's awesome. We ordered signs. They're expensive.
Yeah, so if you need signs, I have 4 sets for the PC program. 3 of our Skittles, and then 1 that's got me. I think the one that's on that my personal set is being used by Ashley Barnhart, but the other sets, if they're not being used, just let me know which color you're taking and check them out. So Eureka and her husband have the green set. I think the purple or the pink set was dropped back off, and I remember seeing the orange set when I was there on Tuesday. So if you need open house signs. All right, well, let's jump into this. So this is what they call the Your Life, Your Design form. We've talked about this before. For some of us that have been on the calls before have seen it, but for a lot of you that are newer, this is going to be a new form that you haven't seen yet. So this is a document that I want you to use. If you want to share it to me so that I can share in your vision and we can look at things together, great. But I want you to have your own. That's why I sent you a firm copy of it and not a Google Drive document. It is best that you put it in Google Drive because that's how the form was designed for. So if you want to upload your form into Google Drive and you can use it that way, it's great. The very first tab here is your reality and your vision. As like the email I sent out, I want you to take inventory of where your life is right now on these 7 key areas. These 7 key areas follow in line with the one thing where it's the 7 circles to a balanced life. Physical health, personal life, key relationships, your job, your business, your finances, and your spiritual life. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where you're at right now in all 7 of those categories. And then talk about, okay, where are you there today? Like detail it for yourself. What makes you a 7, not an 8? What makes you a 6 and not a 5? Talk about it. Okay, my business, I'm doing good, but I want more, I need more leverage in listings, or my job, which is your lead generation. I need to dedicate more time daily to it. Put down where you're at right now. Now, on the next 2 columns, you're going to look at your vision. There's a blank here. It's actually supposed to be an underline where you put like your 1-year vision, your 3-year vision, whatever you want to put there, it's your vision. So based on where you want your life to be, you can do a 3-year vision. So if you want to change your life completely in 3 years, what does it look like? Let's say that your physical health now is a resounding 6, right? Just a little overweight, winded when walking upstairs. You guys can laugh at me, it's okay. I know who I am. So my 3-year goal would be weight at 245 pounds. able to jog a mile, right? And that would put me at, I'd say, a 9. See, the difference being is we can measure what would make it better for us. We can measure where the difference would be. And then we assign a priority. So once we do all 7 of these, we assign the priority. What is our number 1 priority? Is it your physical health? Is it your personal life? Is it your key relationships? When I talk key relationships, these are the people that are in your spheres of influence that are influential, right? Key relationship like a coach, a physical trainer, a financial planner, a mentor, a group of mastermind people that are in your life that are not family, like your loved one, that's your personal life, that are there to help you in strategic planning, and like your business. So a lender, title person, all of these key relationships for your development. Any questions on this one? This is important for you guys to take inventory, be real about where you're at, understand exactly where you're at. And if you're good there, if you're fine, if you rate yourself a 9 or a 10, perfect. This is for you. You don't have to be a 6. You don't have to be a 4. You can be a 9. Like, my business and job are pretty good. I love what I'm doing. There's a little bit of movement. So I'll go from an 8 to a 9 or a 9 to a 10. But I want you to be real about where you're at so that we can have something that you can baseline and go back. Okay, this is where I was at. This is where I'm going. We'll have a clear, defined route of where you're going. And Eureka, you and your husband should have 2 separate forms. That way it's because it's your life and then his life.
Okay.
You guys can have a match in the business and job there, but this is something for your personal development too. All right. Now we prioritize. What's the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, so on. That way we can understand where your priorities are going to be. I say we, but it's because you're going to be looking at it and you're going to tell me it's done. Because this can be very intimate. That's why I'm not having you share it with me. If you want to, I'm there, but I want you guys to be real about this for yourselves. Next, we have the GPS. GPS stands for goals, priorities, and strategies. So the number 1 thing on your reality and your vision, do you think that should be your first priority? Right?
Yeah.
We can look that in there. So your goal, you can do a 3-year goal, a 2-year goal, a 5-year goal, a 12-week goal, right? Whatever your goal is. Like here's a sample one. Create $1 million income over the next 36 months by doing 12-week years while focusing on doubling my net worth from 200 to 400,000 through wealth education and focusing on my key relationships. This is actually somebody's GPS. Somebody has made this GPS, but yours could be a 1-year goal. Like you can just focus in and just change this to say 1-year goal. And it could be to generate $100,000 in income and pay off your debt through focused activity and increasing your physical health to give you more energy. Notice how it's like a 1-year goal. This is my goal statement. This is what I'm gonna ride that hill with. Then we break it down to 12 weeks. Why are we doing a 12-week goal?
Because it's easier when you break it down into like 4 different 12-week goals, because it's easier when you have it like sooner versus like, oh, it's a 5-year thing.
Yes.
Like
Right.
you break it down.
Because we know the human condition would take an assured outcome sooner for less than the unassured larger gain. People were offered $10,000 in 2 years or $100 this weekend. Which one do you think they took?
I take the $100 because I
Most
need it
people
now.
would. Most people would.
Mhm.
Right? But if you got $100 a weekend for the next 2 years, how many hundreds of dollars would you have? Just shy of 10 grand.
Yeah.
Just over 10 grand. So yeah, you'd have 10,400 bucks. But if we look at that, that'd be 5,200. So it's half of 10,000. So we look at our goals as milestones. We set today goals, tomorrow goals, next week goals. We always do. Regardless of what you're doing, you're setting a goal. You're setting a goal to get somewhere. And it could be cleverly disguised as a task list or a shopping list or a I have to get this done today list. Those are your goals. And we often focus on short-term goals because they're easier for us to keep in mind. And then we overestimate what we can accomplish in short term. In the next year, I'm going to make $100,000. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to cure cancer. I'm going to buy a buffalo. No. And then when we set 5-year goals, we base it off of our understanding of who we are right now. And we greatly underestimate what we can accomplish. So we're a little too grandiose when it comes to 1-year goals. We're a little too timid when it comes to 5-year goals. So why wouldn't we set like a 3-year goal, right? Well, because both have their power. 1 year is shorter than 5 years. So let's start with a someday goal, where I want to be someday. That's why that first sheet was a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year, whatever you want to make it to change your life and how long you want to do it. And then we focus in on the steps to get there. We break it down to a 1-year goal. So this is my annual goal to make $100,000 in real estate, right? Whatever your goal is. $100,000, lose 50 pounds, buy a boat, move to Montana, whatever it is. Then we go, okay, that's our 1-year goal. If we set our 1-year goal in January, we get these resolutions every year, right? And we look at them. Oh, January's coming up. I got to come up with some resolutions. When is the only time we ever look at that goal? Again, we set it in January and then we don't look at it again until when?
So December.
Yeah, the next year, 12 months
That
later.
last week.
We're like, ah, shit, we were going to do this, this, and this year. Because our goal didn't matter, right? Our goal didn't matter enough to look at all the time. And that's okay. That happens. So we set 12-week years. So what we do is we create quarters out of the year. But we have goals that are based around those 12 weeks. So that if you hit those target goals for 12 weeks, 4 of them, broken down into quarters, are you going to hit that 1-year goal? Is that going to put you on target for your 2-year goal and your 3-year goal and your 5-year goal? But the golden thing about the 12-week year is it makes us focus on the goal sooner. It makes us check in sooner. If we're off pace in 12 weeks, we still have 3 quarters left to get our life in track. That's why we're doing it now, the 4th quarter of 2021, because guess what 2022 looks like? This process 4 times. We're going to set our yearly goals. We're going to have a goal setting retreat in December. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk about what you want to accomplish in 2022. And we're going to break it into some 12-week years so that you can keep your goals hyper-focused. And they don't have to be big goals. They're your goals, not mine. But we're going to do it this last quarter because I want you guys to get the year started now. Right? Does an airplane take off as soon as it starts?
No.
It's got to pick up some speed first, right? How would you like to hit 2022 in the air? Already speed. That's what we're going to do. So when we're setting up our GPS, now we need to I outline our goal for the year and then what the 12-week chunk of that goal is. So if your goal is to make $100,000 in GCI or $100,000 in profit, they're 2 different conversations. What would be a 12-week goal? A quarter of that. Or maybe 30% of it. You're trying to take out bigger chunks earlier in the year, later in the year. So priority 1, take 8 listings in the first 12 weeks. So my goal is to make $1 million in income in the next 3 years. Raising my income. That's take 8 listings in the first 12 weeks. Well, now this is the 3rd 12 weeks, or the 4th 12 weeks. So take 3 listings or 4 listings. What is 4 listings going to get for you, right? So we break that goal down to what your goal is, what the quarter goal needs to be, and what our main priority should be. Which one dictates more of the market, buyers or sellers?
I think sellers.
100%, right? Buyers they buy what's out there. Sellers dictate the market. So who do you want to have more of, buyers or sellers?
Sellers.
So what are you going to focus on your goals?
Listing.
Listings. So priority 1, take listings. How many listings? How many listings in the next 12 weeks are you going to take? Think about that. Put it to your goal. Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 6? And then what are the strategies to get there? Strategy 1, launch social media campaign targeting listings by this date. 2 hours of lead gen for listing 5 days a week. Door knocking 50 homes around one listing each week. Attending bold, 1 hour of lead follow-up 5 days a week. These are all the strategies that you are going to subscribe to. Not me. This isn't me telling you. This is you are going to say, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 and this to get to my business. And they need to be huddled around the 5 jobs of a real estate agent. You guys know what those are? Lead generate, lead follow up, right? Negotiate contracts, go on appointments, scripts and role play. So set lead and lag measures. Lead measure being something that you do beforehand that'll provide information on what's going to happen. So a lead measure being how many deals are in pending will tell us how many deals are going to close. And a lag measure is how many deals closed told us how many deals were in pending, right? So back to the form. Hi, Teresita. How's your mom?
She's hanging in there. Yes, she's better. Thank you for asking.
Good. Well, she's in my thoughts. So
Thanks.
good to see you. Next, you have priority 2. So the way we look at it is priority 1 is going to get us most of the way to our goal. If we hit priority 1, we're at critical mass for hitting our goal for the 12 months or the 12 weeks. Priority 2 solidifies that. And priority 3 can be the different aspect. Remember, like it could be creating, $100,000 a year in gross commission income by increasing my listing business and taking, 25 listings in a year, which is 7.5 per quarter on average to close out. Then do we need to get some leverage for a buyer support and then losing 10 pounds? Well, some people might challenge, well, how is losing weight going to help me get to a production goal?
It's a self-esteem thing. If you lose weight, your self-esteem is higher and you can achieve greater things. That's
Energy.
the hurdle I'm hitting right now.
Energy, self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's at. And this is you guys saw my GPS. Actually, I don't know if I sent you the one that had my GPS in it. So mine includes you guys. 25 closings per month in PC. Anyone been in the program long enough to hear me say that again and again and again? How many closings we want per month? 25. Because what do you think our yearly goal is?
100.
What's 25 times 12?
Oh no, not 100. I was thinking quarterly.
300.
300.
Yes.
300. 25 a month. 25 a month. So the goal is broken down. So instead of going, oh God, we got to close 300 deals, I just have to look at it. Okay, we need to close 25 a month. So, and I'll do a better job of telling you guys where we're at. But here's, if you guys did know this, I track everything you do. It's kind of my job. We did 15, 20, 22, 24, 22, 20, 21, 19. Notice how we have a standard of real close to 25. Last year's 1, 7, 3, 11, 9, 12. 25 doesn't seem like a real big number when you're doing 20 consistently, but I said 25 when we were doing 12. So when we stretch ourselves in the goal, we set new levels of expectation. So do that when you're setting your goals, right? If it's an income goal, production goal, then we need to figure out how many sellers you're going to get, how many listings, and then how many buyers. And what are you going to do to get those listings? And what are you going to do to get those buyers? And then if it's an energy component, sometimes energy isn't just the physical, is it? What are other things that give us energy?
Working out.
What's a physical component, right? That's the losing weight, working out, right?
Closing deals. Keep you high.
Ah. What's this?
The one.
A book, right? What's in this book? Not just this book specifically, but any book.
Information.
Information. Okay. So when you learn something new, does it excite you?
Yeah.
Does it empower you? So what are other ways to get energy?
Learning.
Learning. What does Big Dan throw at you multiple times a week?
Coaching.
Lots of learning, tons of learning. Books are sometimes decades of life compiled, summarized, and organized thoughts. So if you're not a reader, I challenge you to become one. I challenge you to put this in your brain because, again, books are nothing more than somebody's life condensed, organized, and summarized for you to learn without having to live those same years. What you put in your mind matters. Raise your hand if you used to watch the MTV Real World or Jersey Shore. Good. We got a bunch of smart people on this call. Don't watch that garbage TV. But there's a lot of people that like to watch entertaining stuff. You know what's entertaining to me? Going to dinner and leaving $100 tip to a server at Olive Garden and seeing him cry as I walk away. Because that was the nicest thing that's ever happened to him. You know what's entertaining is going and buying something and not looking at the price tag because it doesn't matter. What's entertaining is helping out a family member that's in a bad way and not being worried about it. Sometimes entertaining is sitting around the bonfire, drinking a beer and talking shit. Sometimes. But whatever you do, get the energy out of it, right? Let it fill you, let it power you. And maybe that's something you need to put on your strategies. It's something that like builds your energy. Go on one retreat a year, one vacation a year. So keep those in mind when you're doing your goal sets. All right. Back to the document. Next, we have our 12-week action plan. Whew, what do you think this one is? This is going to be your ledger of success. I know, we got Pedro's face like, what are you talking about, Dan? This is where you're going to put your current reality, right? Your physical health, wherever you're at, your business, your personal life, your key relationships, your spiritual life, your job, right? This is where you're at right now. And then you're going to take priority 1, priority 2, priority 3 from your GPS, priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. And you're going to put them in to your weekly goal, right? What activities do you need to do this week to be successful in your goal? Here's the example, right? Priority 1 was take 8 listings. Remember that how it was on the last one? Take 8 listings in the first 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So the 12-week action plan, priority 1, take 8 listings. Priority 2, hire an executive assistant. Priority 3, lose 10 pounds. Okay. So for this week, launch a social media campaign targeting listings, 2 hours of lead gen, 5 days a week, door knock 50 homes, register for Bold. Don't have to take it, but register for it at least, or go to Scripts and Roleplay 5 days a week and, lead generate for 2 hours a day, door knock for 25 houses, whatever it needs to be. That is your plan for the week. And then when you're done with it, you literally just put done. See, when a tactic is complete, type done immediately after it. And then priority 2, what do you need to do for priority 2? If priority 2 is talking to buyers or what have you, then what things can you do this week that will help you get to where you want to go. These are the tactics behind the strategies. And lastly, the losing 10 pounds. You know, limit your calorie intake to 2,000 or less. Stop drinking soda. Drink a gallon of water a day. Walk for 45 minutes a day, or 45 minutes, 5 days a week. Right? Simple things that we can do. Read 2 books, right? Read a book on lead generation. Read a book on prospecting. Read a book on negotiations. Is that going to help you get to your goal?
Mhm.
Right. And when it's done, you click done. And then each week, actually, I sent you the sheet and it just had the beginning start date for the first 3, or the first one that calculates the rest. That week starts on Sunday. When should you be planning your week?
Saturday.
Sunday. You don't do anything on Sundays. Sunday's your plan day. Saturday's a day of rest. You can do it on Saturday if you want. But every week, you have week 1. These are the possible tactics to be done. 11 things that you outlined to get done. These are your big rocks for the week. 11 non-negotiable goals. Your task list, remember? Things you need to get done. How many of them you got done? And the week 1 score. Would you consider a 73 a good week? I got a 73% that week.
That's good.
Well, the next week, I have 10 things possible. I did 8 of them. I got 80%. And every Monday, guys, every Monday, starting this first week of the 12-week series, so right after the 30th, we start this next Monday. Not this next Monday, but the Monday after. I'm gonna take register of your scores, because we're going to follow this program. The accountability is going to be in place so that you are outlining what you need to do every week to be successful, and you're accountable to reporting it. If you want to be grandiose and do 15 things in one category, that's on you. But if you know you're going out of town, you're not going to focus on anything that week, then you need to adjust, because you no longer have a 12-week year, you have an 11-week year. Any questions on this one? This is the main nuts and bolts of it. This is just your weekly accountability, what you need to do that week. The first couple of weeks are going to be boring. It's going to be this, this, and this. And then you're going to see, oh, I need to order the inspections and go on the appraisals and all this stuff. Like, you'll start seeing business fill in. Then, this is your baseline. Where are you today? How was your week? Where are you at? Right? It was a good week. It was a bad week. I felt bad. I felt sick. I broke my leg, whatever. Overall score, and then how you are tracking. So, man, this was a really good physical week. I crushed it. Worked out 6 days. I did a pre-workout. I beat Cindy in a foot race. It was a great week.
What?
But this is where you track it so that at the end of 12 weeks, we can look back. So, and then the next 12-week cycle you do, you can look back. And soon we've taken that 1 year goal, broken it down into 12 weeks. And now we've compiled a 5-year plan. And if you look at your 5-year goal from now, and you break it into 12-week chunks, do you think you can slowly improve where you're at over time?
Mhm.
Next is the fun stuff. This is where we start getting interesting. Who's ever looked at your net worth? Silence on the call. Silence on the call. So, net worth tracker, this is for you. I'm going to be, I don't know if this one has things set up in it for us, for examples. There we go. So, just basic asset ledger. Assets are cash on hand. Your vehicles, guns, collectibles, jewelry, anything with a value to it. Investments, the house, stocks, bonds, land, retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks. These are all assets. And then you have your debts or your liabilities. These are the loans, the medical, the dental, the bills, your financing, your mortgage payments, your credit card, consumer finances, credit card. So when you put all this together, you can look at your net worth overview and say, my net worth is $103,000. For this example, $103,000, right? I have $411,000 in assets, $308,000 in liabilities. Means my net worth is $103,000. When somebody says they're a millionaire, do they mean they have $1 million in the bank? What does it mean?
That's their net worth.
A net worth of $1 million or more. In this example, we are 10% there. If you've never calculated your net worth, go do that now. Right when I get off this call, we're going to end soon, so you're going to have 20 minutes left of your day to go do some of this report. And if you want to be excited, think about what happens if your house appreciates in value for another 10%. Or you buy an investment that has 20% value to it and you put money down and it appreciates, right? Is a new car going to help you with your assets? No, because every year it goes down in value. Every year.
Yeah.
Right? Is that new Dooney and Burke purse going to increase your net worth? Not really, because there's no intrinsic value beyond your consumerism. Like I personally don't collect very many things except for dollars in my bank account. But I can tell you that when I started looking at my net worth, the dollars in the bank didn't matter nearly as much as my financial planner saying, hey, you've got $20,000 sitting here that we can put into the market and generate a cash flow from, or buy an asset that's going to appreciate, like land or a house. Now, not only am I growing my financial portfolio, but my net worth is growing too. As a kid, I always thought millionaires just had $1 million in the bank. 90% of millionaires don't have more than 10 grand in liquid cash. Where do you think most of their investment is?
In real estate.
Real estate. It's in the house they own. Or multiple houses. So that's a really cool thing to track. And then the last page of the net worth tracker is, when you're looking at things, is your net worth progress. Put the date, the net worth, and then the change. And then every month or every other week, look at it. What's going to change every other week? Cash on hand, vehicles value, loan amounts, value of the home. So the more you watch these things, the more in tune you are with them. And you'll be surprised at how those assets grow, how your money on hand grows, how your bank accounts grow, and how you get excited about paying things off. I mean, Luis got the joy of sitting with me for an hour and a half today. He told me I had a credit card bill. Told me his minimum payment. I said, pay it off. The look on his face is all, why? Because it doesn't help your assets column. Some debt is a good debt, but this form, guys, is designed for your business. It's simple, right? Where I'm at today, where my goal is. Like, what is my life by design? And then what is my goal for the year, broken into pieces, bite-sized chunks. So Jennifer put a question in there, financial planner do I use? My mom. I'm not kidding. My mom was a financial contracts person for Raytheon. So since I was 18 years old, everything I bought, more than $100, I ran by my mom. When I hit 25, that number changed to $1,000. Anything more than $1,000, I ran by my mom. Now that I'm in my 30s, that number's 10 grand. Anything more than 10 grand, I run by my mom. And she either says yes or no. Now, I'm actually going to be this week looking for what I write down, it was a certified financial planner, because I'm going to take some of the liquid asset I have and invest it. I know real estate. I know real estate well, so I invest in real estate. But when it comes to the stock market, I'm going to let somebody who knows what they're doing handle my money. Could I? Absolutely. I have 10 grand in the random stock apps that I've had since I was a kid. But is it growing very much? No. If I knew what I was doing, I would be a stockbroker and driving a Ferrari, but I'm not. I'm a real estate coach, and I own properties and I get rent. But I didn't get there until somebody said, "What are you doing with your life?" and made me think more critically about it. Nothing changes unless something changes. The saying is, nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you want something different out of your business, different out of your world, different out of your life, write it down, create a plan, and then go attack the plan. Because if you wake up tomorrow and you haven't done any of this, you haven't planned any of this, you haven't discussed any of this with your loved ones, your spouse, your financial planners, anybody that's important in your life, is any of it going to change?
No.
No. Is it going to get worse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the dollar today will not be worth as much as the dollar tomorrow. But if that dollar owned a brick of gold, is that brick of gold worth more today or tomorrow? If that brick of gold has an address, is it worth more today or tomorrow? So a book that I think everyone should read, it's a fable. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. If you haven't read it, read it. If you have read it, reread it. Great wealth is created when our money works for us. Cash in your pocket will get you through the day. Cash in investment will get you through your life. You didn't get into real estate just to buy and sell houses. So why is net worth important? Because you're working for a reason. You want to buy stuff. You want to do stuff. You want to have stuff. You want to get rid of stuff. That all comes from buying and selling real estate. So buying and selling real estate is the vehicle. You want a new car? What's it going to cost you? Okay. How many houses do you need to sell to make that much money? There's your goal. I got off a coaching call with my coach about an hour ago. Those of you who don't know, I like motorcycles and guns and big trucks. Last time I checked, those things aren't cheap. So when I told my boss I wanted to buy a new Harley, she said, "What is it going to cost you?" And I said, "About 25 grand. She goes, "Okay, how many houses do you need to sell to make that much money?" I said, 4, 3. She goes, "Okay, can you sell an additional 3 houses? I have my goal, but I want more. So an additional 3 houses by the end of the year." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Okay, what are you going to do to sell an additional 3 houses?" So if we think in terms of, I want A, so I need to sell enough houses to cover it. Okay, what do I need to do to get there? So stop thinking in dollar amounts. $100,000. Do you guys know what $100,000 is? It's $300 a day. That's it. It's $8,334 a month. That's it. Do you know why most people say that they want to make $100,000 in real estate? Because it's the first 6-digit income they can think of. Most of you, when I talked to you, said that number, except for Eureka and Luis. Luis wants to make $250,000. I'm proud of him. But think about that. Okay, you want a new car, you want a new house, you want an investment property, right? How many houses is it going to take based on your average? If you don't have any houses sold now, use the market average of 7,000. It's $7,000 commission per house. Take your splits out of it if you want to, so you can do a better math. But how many houses is it going to take if you're making $7,000 per house to buy that new car, or to put the money down on the house that you want, or to buy that Dooney and Burke purse? I'm not saying owning stuff is a bad thing. Having stuff is a bad thing. But when we start looking at assets, now we can have the building that pays us $200, $300, $500 a month in profit that pays for the toy. So go back on your list, guys. Look at your life now, your reality, your future, and then what is your goal going to be for the year? How are we going to break it down for the next 12 weeks? And then formulate what week 1 looks like. I want you to have week 1 done this week, so that when next week rolls around, we actually have to start this. It's already planned out and we can ask questions about it. Who's committed to doing this? Is it scary? Does it seem like a lot of work? Trust me, it gets easier because every week you look forward to it. The best thing I could tell you is put aside time on your calendar on a Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is when you're going to do your weekly planning. Or if you're like me, you're an evening person, 7 o'clock on Sundays, I'm not doing anything. So 7 o'clock on Sundays when I'm planning my week. Every week I sit down and I do this every week. And I share this plan with my boss. You guys know her as your broker, Kristen Cole, with Jay, with my coach, my coach's coach, and my financial people. So I've got a lot of people asking me questions about my 411 every week. Your 411 is your 4 weeks, 1 year, 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year. It's the same thing as your 12-week goal. What is your 12-week goal? What do you need to do this week? Your big rocks. And if you want to share it with me and I'll hold you accountable to it, do it. But every Monday, we're going to go over your score from the week before. And we're going to talk about things like what kept you from getting there, what got in your way. And you're going to find out that a lot of the bullshit excuses you give yourself are pretty common. We all give them to ourselves. I didn't have time. I got sidetracked. Life got away. It didn't. Your goals were non-negotiable. Remember that. So quit negotiating them away. Right? And what was that book I told you guys to read?
Richest Man of Babylon. What?
Richest Man in Babylon.
Babylon. Okay.
Richest Man in Babylon. You can probably find it at Bookman's or on Audible. I think there's YouTube videos of the entire book being read already, so it's a free resource. All right, any questions before I kick you out of here, guys? So I don't ask much of you except for play all in. You guys spent a lot of money to get in real estate. Don't let it go to waste. Okay? Don't let my investment in you go to waste. The next 13 weeks of your life are going to be awesome. And if you want some more insight on the 12-week year, it's a book. Guess what it's called? The 12-week year. So the way it sets up is every quarter you do a 12-week year. It's balls to the wall for 12 weeks, and then you take a week to plan the next 12 weeks. So it's like a week off. Then you start again. Take a week off, start again. How awesome would your life be if you took a week vacation every quarter?
That'd be awesome.
Let's make it happen. All right, my friends. Until then, I'll see you in the morning. Guys, don't forget we have our scripts and role play every morning at 8 a.m. The new format's pretty awesome, isn't it, Rosa and Pedro? We miss seeing you on there, Carolyn. I know you got school. Damn school kids.
I was gonna be on there this morning, but I got thrown a curveball.
Yeah. I was
You
going to
didn't change the time of them? It's at 8?
8 o'clock. We didn't change the 8:15. We voted in the call and it's still at 8.
Okay.
We just changed the format, which is a lot more engaging. So,
Okay. It's
so
been hard for me to get on him because I'm dropping my kids off at that time, but he's going into fall break, so I'll join on them.
yeah, and that's the thing is we did it 8 o'clock because that's the setup for the Keller Williams time frames. So 8 to 5 days. I'd like to move it to 9 to 5, but 9's in the middle of your lead generation. I'd rather you lead generate 9 to 11. All right, my friends, go forth. Start doing your assets right now. I think it'll be pretty cool for you. And dive deep, but be real about your thing. If you have questions, text me. I will cover the questions. I mean, even tomorrow, if we need to do another call and just questions alone, let me know. We'll figure it out. But this is going to be a big game changer for you, is writing your goals down and then looking at them every day. Cool? High fives?